the problem with both of these kinds of solutions is that they're not comprehensive at all. In the case of like the Windows auditing, that was just for Windows, so that's not, it's OS specific. You're not going to be able to do that necessarily for your Mac clients. And we also put in there device specific as well, because the fact that we also have solutions for Android and BlackBerry-based mobile phones. And so you're missing from free stuff that also goes beyond that of even just the desktop, the workstation, the laptop that someone's working. You don't get a complete activity view. You're only seeing individual machines. Nothing is aggregated together. It's also not entirely easy to use. Even the Windows auditing, yeah, you'll get an audit of every single activity on a Windows server if you happen to keep all your sensitive information there. But if you're trying to figure out, as an example, if someone, let's say, moved a file from one folder to another, you're going to see both the copy activity and the delete activity, and you're going to have to kind of put that together to figure out they moved that somewhere they should have moved it, as an example. And of course, it means you're going to have to search through. You have to have a needle in the haystack kind of thing. And then go back one slide there, Jeannie. We're still not there yet. So the other part here is that you don't have the weight of a legitimate solution. If you were to try and have that hold up in court, let's say you're going to sue somebody, or maybe you fired someone and they stole something on the way out, and they're trying to come after you for something, and you want to, in a court of law, or at least between attorneys, you want to say, look, they stole some information. We could just easily sue them, and you drop this case, and kind of making this up as they go along. You don't have the weight of a legitimate, security vendor that does this for a living to say, this is the solution. This actually is collecting every piece of information at the client and giving us a full view of everything that the person did, so we can actually attest to the fact that they did whatever it was. They stole this information. They shared that out via email to somebody. They set it via FTP out as a file, whatever the case is. So, Jeannie, let's talk a little bit about, I guess, what does Spector 360 have to offer? Let's jump there.
Okay. So as Nick mentioned, one of the key issues with looking for free tools is that they tend not to cover all of the different OSs. So Spector 360 does monitor what happens on both PCs and Macintoshes, on servers and laptops. And we have some mobile phone technology already in the market for BlackBerry and Android, and soon that's going to be managed under 360. Another really unique thing that 360 offers is the ability to see raw data and snapshots kind of in concert. So you can move back and forth between actual event type data that's very detailed and gives you timestamps and a visual image, and that's really powerful. And like Nick said, if you're trying to make a case or you've got some type of an investigation, that's really important. And finally, a lot of tools that are out there allow you to see one type of event, or they allow you to see events for one user. So in 360, you can see all events across groups, and that would include contractors, divisions, departments, in addition to a single user. And so now I'm going to jump over to the actual product. So this is the deep dive view of alert data. So, and you're used to this. Anybody that looks at SIM products or log aggregation products, but I'm ready to show you one of the really cool things with us is here you see that we caught screen snapshots. So it's going kind of quickly, and I'll slow this down for you later, but the idea is that you're reviewing what happened visually, and that's mapped back to that specific alert data here. So this is to show you productivity, security, critical IP, communications at a high level. This gives you the I've got a problem or I don't have a problem, and you can see really quickly here what users might be problems, or it could be groups of users. So I'll be spending more time as we go forward here on these quick view panels, but again, this is a reflection of the data that's been captured across your users and your groups of users. So let me minimize this. So can you see the So now we're going to talk a little bit about productivity and efficiency. So we just talked about IP and trade secrets. And we've had customers who have used what I just showed you to see if people are sharing insider information, if there's, let's say, merger and acquisition data, pricing data. But one other key area would be to benchmark your productivity and efficiency. So you might want to know, why does one group perform so much better than another? And so you can see how they work. You can use this product to see how people work, and that's very powerful. And you can use this to find if you've got somebody who's either very productive or very unproductive. You can drill into the data. But again, you can also use it to improve your training, to make sure people are following processes. If you've got government mandates and things, you can use this. So it's really, really powerful, and this is kind of an addendum onto the security story. So now I'm going to let Nick talk a little bit about some of the things out there that are free, that kind of do a partial job of this, and then I'll jump back into a demo and show you how a real user activity monitoring solution, a real commercial one, is more full-featured.
So there are a couple of solutions that exist today. I got 2 of them listed up there, some quick URLs you can get to. I didn't bother, obviously, with bit.ly links because they're short enough for you to have an opportunity to write down if you want to. And these are meant to be sort of a one-off, individual user time management solutions. It's the closest thing you're going to find to what we're talking about. Now, in Jeannie's discussion more about improving productivity and efficiency, it's one thing to do time management, and it's another thing to actually look at, as an aggregate, what people are doing and then figure out what activities or what habits need to change in order to make them more productive and more efficient. So you do have these free solutions like the Slim Timer and Manic Time, but they're going to be, in fact, if you look at what's missing from free on the next slide, you see it's done on an individual instead of being able to baseline, the second bullet there, baseline groups and individuals, between the 2 of them. There's also an issue here of active time versus focus time, which is something Jeani will show you in the demonstration of Spector 360. And that's important because there's a real big difference between someone opening up Facebook when they come in the morning and literally never touching it the entire day. So it was active the whole day, but they weren't actually on it, versus somebody who was on Facebook all day long clicking on stuff and basically not working but fooling around on Facebook. And that's the difference there between active and focused time. And that's actually really critical when you're talking about productivity and efficiency, because if you can't distinguish that, then there's no ability to tell whether someone is actually productive or not. I can come in today and I can go ahead and open up, we use Salesforce as our CRM. I can open up Salesforce and leave it open all day. Does that mean I was productive? No, I was actually playing Angry Birds all day on my iPhone, or whatever the case is. So you want to be able to distinguish that. And then the other thing is being able to aggregate all the data to see, are there trends that are going on in your organization? If everyone's fooling around, or people in the entire organization always on Facebook or social media or whatever, because then maybe the one of the actions that you can take because of that, when you look at maybe the productivity expert or just doing it yourself, is we need to block Facebook entirely from work, except for those 4 people in marketing because they actually need to go there for their job, or something like that. And then the last thing here is being able to see across all your devices. And we've got it written up there, no matter the user location, but then also, and that kind of tends back to what I just said about how being able to see with groups of individuals or the entire organization, look at trending, but also across all devices, that's Windows and Mac. And then we have another product that's not really focused on this webinar, but eBlaster, but we do have, again, I mentioned earlier, for both Android and BlackBerry, where you can see what people are doing on those devices as well. So that's kind of what's missing from free. You're going to be able to get some time management ability, but it's not really giving you a sense of what the organization is doing as a whole, or even what individuals are doing as a whole in terms of active versus focused time. So, Jeannie, let's talk about what we have to offer.
Alrighty. So that dovetails nicely. A lot of the things that are missing from the other tools are areas that Spector 360 excels in. And one of them is giving you the aggregate and comprehensive work view and showing you the times, the active time, the focus time, the total time, and allowing you to quickly and visually look for aberrations between groups or similarities.